Oh shit. Guess who's back? Back again. Oh, you know what the fuck it is. Yum. Oh shit.
What's up, motherfucker?
What's up?
I decided to get my drink on this evening. Have a little, actually got a little beer in
Yeah.
the fridge, so thought I'd partake.
Partake, baby. Hey, you know the name of the game. It's Let's Talk About a Podcast. With podcast where we just talk about it. Very interactive. You can communicate in the comment section, or the link's at the bottom of the screen. You get any streaming device. Don't say you don't fucking have one, because your 6-year-old daughter probably has one you could borrow real quick. And you punch it into your computer, laptop, fucking desktop, phone, anything you got, and join the show. We already got one live viewer. Shout out who you are. If you do come in, let us know. We know there's a few of you that watch us incognito and you don't want us to know who you are. That's fine too. But if you want to say hi, just write a comment and then we'll know you hear. Me and Scotty, two motherfucking hottie. Scott motherfucking Hicks is in the building. Give it up for Scott.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's awesome. It's one of my favorites. I'm glad you have him on.
Scott is the man. If you don't know Scott, he's my co-host. And very simple concept, man. We just talk about it. People arguing on Facebook and comments and stuff. We don't need all that shit. Just say, hey, I'd like to be on the show and talk to you about that. We'll set it up. I ain't no mediator. That's another guy said. He's like, I ain't coming on your show because you're just a mediator. I was like, well, that wouldn't be a bad idea. Number one, be like the whole concept is to have 2 points of view in a mediator, but I'm not. Sometimes Scott can tell you, sometimes I agree with Scott and sometimes I don't.
Sometimes Scott's an asshole.
And maybe sometimes that's a lot. No, nobody really says you're an asshole. I've been told this. This is the words that I've been used to describe you.
Wait a minute, hold on. This is like my favorite part of the show is when you tell me the things that people said about me from the previous week.
I love it too. So 100% more than one person. Hold on, let's call Jason because he actually texted me this morning asking me what the topic was, and he's great. He's great for you, me and you and him. And then the other Jason's supposed to come on. So I'm calling this motherfucker live right now. He's about to be on a podcast whether he likes it or not. At least for a minute.
Your call.
Oh! He must be watching.
Yeah. All right, bitch. All right, I'll call another Jason. Jason Parks. Remember he said he would do it. This is his week. I'm gonna call his ass too.
He's
try the other one. TJ Bell's in the building. He wants to talk about Deshaun Watson. I'll get there. I got a funny story about that actually. We could open up with that. Hold up. See if Jason Parks answers. He's probably the other one watching. Oh, sneaky boy. See, we changed the night, so he's asking me. Somebody else text me and say, "What? No podcast last night?" I say, "We're on Wednesdays now." At least they're watching, bro.
Yeah.
He ain't answering. Maybe one of them will call back. Deshaun Watson, real quick. I know it wasn't on our topic list that I sent you, but do you know who Deshaun Watson is?
Yeah, of course I do. He's the quarterback for the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
A great quarterback. He's been surrounded by a shitty team, and the rest of his team has been shipped off in bad trades and deals. And now it looks like everybody who left is probably did the right thing.
Yeah. What did he say? He said, I'd come on, but getting the house ready for them showings this weekend. Yeah, he's selling his house.
Where are you
Congratulations.
moving to, TJ? Where
Yeah,
are
you do you. Don't worry about it. Watch the replay. But the funny part is, the 49ers have been in the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes. So all my 49er friends, we have all these group texts and we talk a lot. We're like, I think today's going to be the day, man. We're about to get Deshaun Watson and it's over. Deshaun Watson, all those weapons, and Kyle Shanahan, that defense, it's a wrap, right? We're going to the Super Bowl. I don't give a fuck if it's Tom Brady or fucking P. Mahomes his goddamn self. We're going to the Super Bowl and winning that bitch, right? So and then I realize it's probably not going to happen. And we have no money now. So I don't know how it's going to happen, but they're one of 5 teams that still would get Deshaun Watson besides his 16 sexual allegations that he has. And we're one of the 5. So it's not over. So he texted me this morning and said, hey, Houston just cut Deshaun Watson. Then he would be a free agent. He could actually take less money and go somewhere. A lot of reasons why he can't get signed is because they have to trade him. So he has the contract.
Right.
He could renegotiate it. But anyways, so we've been talking about it for weeks. I almost shit myself when he sent me the thing. I said, oh my God. So I go to Google and I Google it and there's nothing. It's just the 16 sexual allegations. So I'm like, man, I don't know. He's like, I'm telling you, it's coming from a reliable source, blah, blah, blah. So the whole day goes by. And then he texts me again, and he texts me a picture. It is 16, but he texts me a picture of a tweet, and he said a twit. He said, it said, just like I told you, per Adam Schefter, and because you always gotta look for the source, and then the name of the Twitter guy. So I'm looking at the guy's name, and I'm like, I done never heard of this fucking guy. Who is he to break this news, right? So the guy's going back and forth with me on text message, and he's like, I can't believe it. I was like, man, I think it's fake. So I go to Twitter and put in that guy's name, and I didn't even get it until I put it into Twitter, and the dude's name was, wait for it. You have to, because I got to pull it up. But his name was
this is preparation, ladies and gentlemen.
First name Barry, Barry. Last name, he must be Irish, McCockiner. So the dude's name, and he's verified. His name is Barry McCockiner. So I can't even text him back. I said I have to make this phone call myself. And he was like, I'm telling you, man. I was like, look at the name, bruh. Barry McCockiner. He's like, oh my God, I sent out like to 16 people. I just started rolling. He said, you go to that Twitter and it says, oh my God, Barry McCockiner actually made it on Twitter. I mean, it was great, dude.
That's awesome.
But yeah, he's got 16 now. But
yeah, I saw
16.
I scroll the news and I see the headline the other day, and it says 9 lawsuits against Deshaun Watson. And like 2 hours later, it says 12 lawsuits against Deshaun Watson. And the next morning, it says 16 lawsuits. I was like, God damn.
This is my take on it. My buddy was like, man, he's just going to get signed with somebody and get suspended. I was like, there's no charge. They're all civil cases. Like he's not being charged with, not out of all those 16, not one criminal offense. I mean, something's fishy there.
Okay, that's fair. That's your mom.
What's up, Mom? Shout out to my mom, always showing up on the Let's Talk About It podcast. Shout out to June Hardenberg.
No, I hadn't really thought about that too. There's no criminal things. So.
Yeah, it's like I understand the OJ thing. It's like that motherfucker was found not guilty, and then guilty as hell in civil suit and loses all his shit, which I guess he probably deserves it, I guess. But
would it really surprise you if the Ginger Hammer suspended him anyway?
I don't know if he can. I don't think it's written that way.
I don't. Yeah.
Oh, shout out to Ray Baltazar. I mean, there's civil cases. He's being sued with no. He has. There's not. That's why I just looked it up yesterday. When it was 14, I looked it up. Maybe the last 2 do. Not one single, not a fucking nothing.
Right.
I mean, what does that mean? And the conspiracy around it is that Houston is doing that because of what he's doing to them, like smearing him, like the organization, the powers that be, you know? But I don't know how.
It'll check out, right?
I mean, it should. It should all be good. I mean, I could be dead ass wrong, and he could get 16 rape charges, and I feel like an idiot. And they'd be like, "Why don't you watch podcast number 9? You said da, 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 da." And I will watch it again because as of right now, not one charge, not a fucking drunk in public with a chick, like nothing, not even a little thing. You know, it's like I don't think he's married. I think he was Derek Jeter with less game. You know, like he was just like massage therapist, personal trainers, dietitians. He was just fucking anybody he wanted to, and he probably was a dickhead afterwards. And they're like, you know what, motherfucker? And maybe they are getting paid even more money that they're suing for to make it happen. Who knows? Something's fishy. 16 cases. Like usually, I'm like, well, it don't. You know, something happens by accident. One time, maybe 2 times, but 16. Then I started looking into it. I said, hey, it's not one charge. I mean, Derek Jeter used to get him out. He had a back entrance of his building in New York City to get girls out. And they they left in a limp. This is a pimp.
Didn't you like give him like a fruit basket or something?
Dude, not a fruit basket, but a pack, like a gift is always in the back seat.
Swag bags. That's what TJ's talking about.
Swag bags. Exactly.
I think a fruit basket would be funnier. You can send them out with some fucking fruit.
I mean, that's knowledge. Oh, shout out to my grandpa. She's at my grandpa's house. Shout out to my grandpa. Shout out to Herman Lamoureux. He's watching. Don't be embarrassed, Grandpa. I'm gonna make you proud tonight. All
right. Hey, so let's go back. We completely skipped over my favorite part. You could tell me all the bad things.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not much. It's like words like snarky.
Yes, that's correct.
Snarky, and I had to look that up. I don't really know the definition of it, but snarky more than like that's the most used word.
I like that though. Honestly,
that's what I'm saying.
That's right on. That's on point. Whoever said that.
You're the type of. That's what I told him. I was like, yeah, he'd be grateful to hear that. He's the type of person that thinks that snarky might not be a bad thing. You know, it's what people think a word means when it's a bad word. You know, you get the leftist and the communist shit. I mean, definitely socialist and communist. Anything that has a isht on the end of it, not racist.
Right. No, well, all right. True story. I thought about doing something with a friend of mine called Maximum Snark. So that's this guy's snarkier than me. So, your mom wants to know how you're doing, man. You should call your mother.
I think she's talking to you. I talked to her today, so I think she's talking to you. Scotty too come. That was another one.
June, if you're talking to me, I'm doing very well. Thank you so much. If you're talking to your son, pretend he's called you.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
What's up, you bad motherfucker? You're live on the podcast. Don't do nothing stupid. Don't say nothing dumb. I thought you were coming on, man.
I'm on the podcast?
Yeah, you told us last week that you're coming on this week.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, we're trying to hold your feet to the fire. Is that how you say that?
Yeah, that's probably pretty close. Yeah.
Yeah. So are you eating? Oh, that's pretty close. See what I'm saying? He's a snarky, witty motherfucker that we need on the show. So, so you finishing your meal and then you're gonna jump on?
Sure.
Because it sounds like you're fucking smacking something. Is that shit bussin'? Is that shit bussin', bro? That's what the new ones call it, bussin'. My son said, "Man, this sandwich is bussin', bro." I was like,
I'm just learning the cool phrases from the early 2000s. So
shit, you way back
I'll be saying bussin' maybe in 2030.
God damn, you listen to Nelly too or something?
Country grammar is straight up in my 6 CD changer.
All right, get on here, bitch.
My 6 CD changer.
Look, see, I'm glad you're doing so good. Yeah, we did get the 2 Scotty 2 Kami before. What else?
Oh, really? That's funny. I like that.
And what else was it? Snarky. All the left jokes you can think of. Lefty Lucy, fucking not righty tighty. One of my friends said that he gets offended when they call you left because you're not. I was like, damn.
I don't know how I fit into all those labels. I just have.
Well,
there you go.
I mean, Lefty Lucy and Scotty 2 Kami and all the left stuff we can know. You're like so left wing. And you don't hide it. So I get those. Snarky, I thought the same thing. I was like, is that a bad thing?
Not to me. I mean, I know I am. If snark annoys you, well, I don't know what to tell you about that. I know I'm snarky. I shoot for snarky a lot of times. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, all you're telling me is I'm hitting the bullseye.
That's right. And all I want to tell them to is hit share. If you think this is a boring ass conversation and you want nothing to do and don't give a shit about that dude or this dude, that's fine. Just hit share. Maybe your friend likes commies, and then your friend can come on. TJ Bell. I lean far middle, but lean more intelligent. Oh, if that ain't the lefty thing to say. He just basically said, I'm on the left.
That's right.
TJ, I wanted to talk to you about something. I need you to make I'm doing a fundraiser for some new uniforms for my football team, and I want you to make a flag and we're gonna auction that bitch off. What do you think? It's gonna be fucking sweet. We're also doing a fundraiser for the Hornets right now for uniforms. Pampered Chef. The cheerleaders are putting together a Pampered Chef freaking like it's so amazing. I don't know if you know what Pampered Chef is, the new official sponsor of the Let's Talk About It podcast, but it's like really high, kind of high end. The snap-on of pots and pans and kitchen accessories.
Yeah.
But they have some dope ass shit. I have some in my house, but they're remember the Tupperware parties that your moms had in the 80s? Tupperware parties.
Yeah.
It's fair, something like that. Well, it was annoying because you had to find people to come to your house and host an actual party and write down everybody's orders and collect everybody's money. That shit's over. It's all a link. You put it, you share it with your friends. Every time you buy something, we get a certain percentage going to buy the uniforms. You just invite as many people. It just runs as long as we want it to, and they get shipped right to your house. For more details, hit me up in the messenger or at my email. You know how to get a hold of me, motherfuckers. You know how to get a hold of me. So anyways, where were we? Before that fundraiser.
That was about it. I think we were.
Oh yeah, Snarky and you're fucking lefty, fucking common as fuck. Yeah. Oh,
we should have. You know what? What we need is an inbox.
Speaking of lefty commies, we got another one in the building. TJ Bell.
What's happening?
What's happening?
Wow.
Packing, man, packing.
TJ, I gotta tell you, this is far too professional looking. This whole collared shirt and no hat and sitting at a desk kind of thing. This is not my vision of you, man.
Yeah, I know. That's my problem. I'm packing up. I got to take down my command center and packing everything up.
When do you have to be out?
We don't even have a house to buy. There's just 700 people that want mine.
Oh golly, yeah, seller's market.
Yeah,
no shit.
Carpet comes in tomorrow. I got a school board meeting tomorrow, so I'm not even going to be here when they get here. But I will. Carpet's the last thing, so when the carpet goes through the whole house, it's
official.
You know, I got some room in the garage if you guys need a place to stay. You know,
man, I got a pod in the driveway. I'm using a neighbor's garage. I got 2 trailers.
No, I mean, like I can put like a mattress in there for you. I think it's relatively warm. I mean, we have a guest bedroom, but I don't think you'd like it.
Yeah,
That's
I got a shed. I don't have a
If
garage. I got a
if
shed.
I'm in the same house as you, Scotty, I'm good.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew you two motherfuckers. I knew it.
But yeah. So I heard what you were saying, Thomas, about the auction thing, and I at least wanted to chime in. I haven't even been able to catch up with Chris and them about the guitar. Like I'm still cranking that out by hand because
Yeah.
I don't have no power out in the shop no more. And this house situation hit me
Oh,
like
I
out
was
of
gonna say
nowhere.
you could throw it on the cheater machine and just make it. And I was hoping if I could just get an idea that we could start selling the tickets for it.
I actually wanted to reach out to you when I saw that y'all were raising money for the Hornets, right?
Yeah.
I was gonna try to do like a green and black, Hornet flag and auction, and I wanted to reach out to you about it.
This is what I want to talk to you guys about. This is what I thought that at first too, but I thought that we could make a lot more money and it would mean a lot more if we actually had you do the old emblem and Rebels. So all the people that got mad when we had to change the name from Rebels to Hornets have a chance to buy a piece of that. So I didn't know if I wanted to do one as the Hornets and do a raffle or as the Rebels and do a raffle. You know what I'm saying? What do you think?
To be perfectly honest, I think the people that were bitching about Lee Davis and everything getting changed, they forgot that it got changed by now.
Yeah.
So
they're on to the next one. I just want to go on the record. I do want to go on the record and state this, that the Mechanicsville Rebels did that shit before Lee Davis, before Stonewall, and before motherfucking Jeff Davis was changed to Richmond Road, bitch. We did it. We were the fucking pioneers of this shit. And we had the M for 2 years, the green M. Guess what the Lee Davis logo is? An orange and blue M.
I mean,
how great is that? We feed right into the program. We got the same logo, baby.
All right. I got to, as a marketing guy, I got to throw this out there. Are you planning to sell tickets? So is this a raffle for the flag or an auction or raffle?
Or either way.
So if you did something that wasn't even, and this is just an idea. If you did something that was more broadly popular, even than just the football thing, then you could probably sell tickets to people who aren't even football supporters.
Yeah, but we have the only reason I say is we have thousands of members of our Facebook page because it's been open since Facebook.
That's pretty good, then. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We know we can get
in Mechanicsville. The only thing more popular than that is Klan hoods.
Yeah, he said it. Look at G's face.
I just want to go on the record that I did not say that. Just in case the words are all muted and mixed around on the replay.
All you get is auction off Klan hood.
Oh, I'm isolating it for the best of. For sure. For sure.
But no, like I said, I didn't want to offer that because I'm behind the gun on.
Yeah, maybe we could do it later.
I mean, I'm more than willing to. Like I said, I don't even got power. I mean, I could run an extension cord out to it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't want something that you spent months and months on. Just like a nice fucking little thing to auction off, you know?
How about the Mechanicsville Hornets? About an NFT. How about that?
What is that?
TJ probably knows what that is.
I'm gonna start selling them.
Are you really?
An NFT?
People are paying stupid amounts of money.
He probably knows more than I do.
Is it the new Bitcoin or something?
So a dude that I play fantasy football with just paid $700 for an NFT of some random dude slamming a ball.
Slamming a what?
A ball for NBA. $700.
So
it's like a 2-second video clip.
NFT is kind of like ownership of
digital art,
of digital media, or digital rights, or something like that.
Yeah. You're buying digital art.
Wait a minute, does he own? He actually owns the rights to that. So if anybody ever uses that, they have to pay him for it. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
but still, it's bullshit. Sorry.
It is bullshit, but
He
Probably
he
fine.
said shh to his own daughter after he
I
cussed.
didn't mean to
Oh.
say that. But yeah, I don't get it. But I mean, people are paying money for it, so
got to type in the URL. Jason Parks.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can do it and
There
type
it
it for you and send it to you, but I'm not. Hey, Ray Batalana, what are you talking about? Wow.
I got to finish working.
I think that was in response to the popularity of the Klan in Mechanicsville.
Probably.
Stay out there, man.
God damn.
Stay out there, man. They strong.
Yeah, I'm telling
What's
you
a-
right now. So
what is
far, you got the line of the day. I'm voting for him for the.
What
line
does
of
the
day.
Venn diagram look like with Klan activity and "Don't Tread on Me" license?
Oh,
plate?
it's like for trading cards.
Wait.
Oh, media equals money. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna get off tonight. I'm about to look into this NFT shit.
Oh, it's crazy, man. That shit is.
Yeah, it's nuts.
insane.
You can
Seems
make
like
your
you
own
gotta-
NFTs though. You can make your own. It's not hard to do.
Really?
I don't
Yeah.
know if I still got the concept of what it actually is. It's a piece of media.
Yeah, it's like, all right, so the way that I look at it, I mean, it's a lot more complex, but it's basically like you're paying money to own a GIF. Like a GIF is just a little goofy clip of
Yeah.
something.
Yeah,
That's
I know
all
what
it
a GIF.
is.
Yeah. Oh, I know what a GIF is. Okay.
Yeah,
So
that's
you're like-
basically what an NFT
You're like
is.
the copyright owner of it.
Right.
Oh, so if other people start using it on their cell phones and stuff and using it on the internet, you gotta get paid.
Yeah.
Oh, you should have never told me that shit.
I think the
I'm about
most
to be the NFT
expensive
king.
the most expensive NFT that I've heard of was like $70 million.
Yeah.
All right, now we're
Now-
fucking getting retarded.
And shit gets weird because I don't really know. I mean, my thought is, how are you going to police it? If you own the rights to that particular clip, or
Exactly.
actually, there's digital artwork too. By the way, it doesn't
Yeah.
even have to be like a video or anything like that.
Yeah.
How are you gonna police it? I can take a screenshot of anything.
That's all I do. Screenshot and screen record. That's mine now.
Right? Yeah, you can say it's yours all you
Yeah,
want.
but you can't. But you can't because whoever you stole the screenshot from is theirs.
I can do as much as they can with it. What are they doing with it?
If it's
Nothing.
theirs, they can
Nothing.
see.
Agreed. It's theirs. Sure, you own it, but what are they doing with it?
So like,
It's-
you
all
could be
game.
at like say you're at the Hanover County School Board meeting and you took a selfie with the whole board behind you and took a picture, and then you took that and then you added your audio talking shit about them and made it a GIF type of thing. Who pays you for it?
You got to put it. There's a marketplace for it.
Is
Oh
it-
my god.
Yeah.
I knew TJ would know more than me about this. I
I'm
didn't know. if
all
it was-
about trying to make money off of weird shit.
I feel like I heard the term before, but I wasn't sure what it was.
All right. So TJ, your opinion: more or less useless than Bitcoin?
Ooh, that's tricky.
Hard to compare. I don't think you can't really use them both as currency.
That's tricky. What is Bitcoin at right now? Hold on.
I don't know. Well, that. But I think that. All right, we can do the whole thing on this.
So Bitcoin has lost $9,000 in the past week.
That shit
I'm not talking about value. I'm talking about
He's ju-
usefulness.
Yeah, he's saying
And I think-
usefulness.
so here's and TJ, we need to have a longer conversation about this someday because honestly, I have a
Yeah, not on this
with
fucking
Bitcoin
podcast.
as a store of value. I don't know what it is. All right,
Y'all,
new
what you should
subject.
do?
Let's go
Y'all
on.
should start your own fucking podcast. I
So-
mean, flip freaking podcast.
So Bitcoin Bitcoin has value. It just doesn't have an intrinsic physical put your hand on it value.
Right.
But
Yeah.
you can buy
Oh yeah, people.
Anything.
Dude just bought a car with it. Dude
Yeah.
met a dude at Walmart and bought a car for $10,000 in Bitcoin and just
Yeah.
transferred it on his phone and drove away.
yeah. To
I
be
feel like-
perfectly honest,
I feel like there's two snarky ass people out there like you guys though that will take that money, little hackers and shit.
Ugh,
so
I get issues.
it's not impossible. it's very difficult to hack Bitcoin just based off the way that it's produced and mined. But so I do a fair amount of investing, and I would not be surprised if by the end of the year Bitcoin is not $100,000. It would not shock me, and it's 52,000 today. It was 60.
Shit.
It was 62,000 last week.
Oh shit! I see my boy in the green room. I don't know if there's any more room in this bitch on the left-hand side. I don't know if we could do another lefty up in this bitch. Jason Parks is in the building with the old Chipper. He got the old Chipper Jones hat on. Look at that shit, boy. What's up, man?
Doing well. How are you guys?
There we
How are
go.
you?
That's it.
I was working on you, snarky ass mother. Look, Scott was like, "Could you take down that banner so I can see its face?" That's what you were about to say, right?
I was trying to be nice to him.
was
He's a
working on
guest. We got to do this shit. You got to look out for a guest.
What's up, Playboy?
Not much. Just hanging out, listening. Listening and typing. It's a lot easier to type.
Yeah, no. Now it's
No, it
this
ain't.
easy.
It ain't.
Now you're here. We got you. Once we get you once. I love your name too.
Welcome to the group.
Yeah, I think somebody edited that. It looks like.
We call him Jason Parks. We got a lot of Jasons. I like that couch behind you.
Oh, you like it? Yeah. It's actually my grandparents, so it's almost as old as my Nelly CD. But it's
No, it's older than that, buddy. My grandmother had that couch. It was covered in plastic in 1986.
yeah. Well, this is only the chair. It's what's left of that suit.
They don't make that shit like they used to, bro.
Is it velvet? Is it velvet?
No, it's
Nope.
like I want to say almost like a Berber type feeling
He
to
said
it.
Barber.
Berber.
Not real soft, but durable.
It's like
When
a
you
type
put
of
your hand across it, does it change the pattern? You know,
No.
like that came later. That was like mid 90s.
Yeah, it's like is that like velvet or something maybe?
I think it's microfiber or micro fleece.
Fiber. There we go. Yeah.
Frankie got us.
Microfiber.
Frankie got us from in the back. She said micro fleece idiots. Microfiber.
Stuff where if you sat on it too long, you start shocking everybody.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a good
Jason Parks is in the building. Thomas would be loving this.
Oh God.
We were just talking about you the other day.
So
So
great things.
you guys ready to move on to our first topic, I guess?
Yeah, let's do it. The first official topic.
All right. NCAA basketball, men's versus women's. I don't know if you pay attention to the news, but I'll give you a quick rundown. There was a female player of the NCAA teams, I think it was Baylor, and she was making a TikTok. Proves that more than just 12-year-old girls use TikTok. 19-year-old girls do too. And she was in the locker room. She was in the
Pick me. Pick me.
All right, hold on. She was in the locker. I'm gonna give them the rundown. She was in the locker room making a TikTok, and she was showing off, their workout space, which is basically an empty conference room with a dumbbell tree, with like 4 or 5 dumbbells on it, and a rower. And they go to the men's side, and they got this like American Family type of gym. The food they were getting, Uber Eats and shit was delivering and sponsoring all the guys, and they were having elementary food school for the girls.
Those
And me and
square
Frankie were
pieces.
watching the news in the morning,
Right.
and every station was just like NCAA is sexist. And I was like, I don't know if it's sexist. It has an ist on the end of it, but it's not sexist. It's not racist. There's white people there and black people there and white girls there and white boys there. It's called capitalism. Like the girls, I looked it up, actually cost the NCAA and their colleges, especially during COVID, actually cost them money. While that literally made $1 billion and it ain't over with yet on the men's side. So I'm like, I don't think it's somebody like, you know what? I hate these women. We're going to give them shitty this and shitty that, and we're going to do this. I think it was more like, this is what makes the money. We pay them, basically, right? Am I wrong? Is it all right, the question is this. Let's start there. Is it sexist? Scott, you go first.
Ooh, me first? No. Well, no.
I already told you I don't think it's sexist.
I was thinking if anybody else, all right, Jason or TJ, do you guys have an opinion on this? Because my thoughts run a little deeper.
The only thing I would think is I guess would it be a violation of Title IX first and foremost? Because I think aren't they supposed to have equal equipment for? But then I would also, and this is more or less a joke than actually being serious, but if they bought the dumbbells recently, that dumbbell tree might have cost as much as the men that were used. I mean,
I know I work in the industry, and that's why I know how funny that is. You should know that people were robbing people for dumbbells during COVID season. But funny joke. Funny joke. But I'll touch on the Title IX for 1 second. That Title IX is pretty much a minimum wage for them. So they have to do a minimum for each. And then, football even makes even more. So obviously that Title IX is bullshit. Just helmets alone exceeds their Title IX. So it's like a minimum thing they have to do, I think. And bigger schools get more money on that side, I think. But we could look that up. I could be wrong because I'm dumb, but whatever.
So, all right. So you don't think it's a Title IX issue? Is that where you're at on that, Thomas?
I don't think it's just a Title IX. It might have something to do with it. I think what he's saying isn't a Title IX a violation? And if that's what they were talking about on the news and how it was unfair because this one makes all the money and they give them the shitty shit, but they were just like, they should be canceled. They should be canceled for their sex. I don't think it was sexist at all. So,
all right. TJ, is that where you land on that?
Yeah. So, I mean, it doesn't look good, but it's not sexist. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a business. Whatever's bringing in the money is where the money's going to go to. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, anybody that has any opinion on this conversation already knows what this, the differences, the ratios are. It's like what, like the men's tournament brings in like what, $600 million, and the women's is like 500,000, whatever the numbers are.
Like $32,000, $8 an hour.
I mean, you have to put in. Now, do I feel that their individual tournament and their individual schools could do more for them? Sure, but money pays for all that. I mean, it's
all
right. So here's my take, and just as I don't disagree with any of this, but I think there's a couple of questions. First of all, is the fact that men's sports the moneymaker, is that just a continuation of the social structure that we have?
It's because they're better.
Well, okay, and you know what? And listen, I'm okay. I'm okay with saying women and men have very different physical capabilities.
Oh, it's not because they're better. Well, I guess it relates to selling tickets. Money again.
I mean, so what is the? I guess you can argue there's a self-perpetuating power structure.
You could argue on this podcast and not use those words. I don't know what it means.
Okay, well, I'm going to explain it.
I didn't want to say anything.
What?
What does that mean?
All right. I'm just saying, this is a perspective to think about.
Oh, your mic went muted again. You know what? That's a sign from the man above that your point sucks. He'll be back in a second. There you go. Nope, you're muted again. You suck at this game.
The Lord was giving him time to put in layman's terms.
Right. Layman's terms. All right.
What's layman? What's layman?
Thomas terms.
The point is that maybe the fact that men get more attention is because they make more money, and then because they make more money, they tend to get more perks and more benefits of this, right? That's what I mean by self-perpetuating. Now, the other argument is not that far unrelated to what TJ said, which is, are men better at these sports? Well, I guess it depends on what you consider better. Are they more
bigger, stronger, faster?
Right. Now, how does that relate to being more entertaining? I don't really know. I have never watched the WNBA, for example.
That's my point. How many
Right.
people? Hold on. Let's take a poll real quick. How many people in this podcast or anybody else that they've ever known in their entire life in any year, including this year, filled out an NCAA women's basketball bracket?
No.
It doesn't exist.
Thumbs down.
I couldn't even believe it. They were on TV, and it was so far up on ESPN. It was like ESPN Ocho.
Hey,
The
I watched
Ocha.
the hell.
The
I
Ocho.
watched the hell out of volleyball.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, you know what? Let me throw in my 2 cents here. G knows my favorite sport is golf these days.
Men's golf. Yeah, I know.
But no,
We get
women's golf. Watch
Yeah.
women's golf. Yes, see, TJ knows what I'm talking about.
Softball.
Women's
Softball's
softball, that's
not-
good too. You know what? When I'm watching
See
it for
what
the
you're
same
doing now?
reason,
See why you're watching it? Why are you watching it?
why do I watch what?
Any of those things we just named.
Well, I will say this about women's golf.
TJ.
It's about 50% that there's a lot of good looking women in women's golf. And it's about 50% that I don't feel so bad about my own golf game. Now they are way, way better than me.
Yo, whoop your ass, boy.
Oh, they will kick my ass bad. But I'm just saying, they're hitting the ball 275. They're not hitting it 350. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, that feels doable for somebody as bad as me.
That feels sexist saying you like watching women's golf because it makes you feel better about your game.
Exactly. You talking about
The
the
disclaimer
NCAA.
was that they would kick the shit out of me. Every single one of them would beat me bad. So I'm
the
just saying.
worst one, dude, you don't even understand that. The worst one on the amateur circuit will beat your ass.
Oh,
and
there's no- yeah.
the 10th grader, the 10th grade Asian little
Yes.
girl right now will whoop your ass. That's coming up.
This is true. Also, I'm not
Tiger golf, bitch.
I'm a bad golfer. It's fun.
I would beg to say, I don't think that's even a thing. It's beg to
Well,
differ,
say it anyway.
but beg to say, say it twice when it don't make sense.
I would dare to say.
I would dare to say, I'm doing the Jason Ramsey. That's what Jason used to do. Not this Jason. Jason Ramsey, he would say, come on, man. You can't beat around a dead horse. He would combine them all together, make them all crazy. And not even argue with me about it. That I'm like, it's beating around the bush or beating a dead horse. And they literally mean two different things. But what were you saying?
You dared to say. You were going to dare to say something.
I don't know if you paid attention about a month ago, maybe. I think Tiger and his son, which is like 12, were in a tournament together. I think his 12-year-old son will whoop your ass.
Oh, bad. Very bad. Yes.
Can you beat anybody?
He can beat Tiger right now.
I heard a month ago he was in a car accident.
Oh, Jason.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Ooh. We can
Too
say that.
soon, Jason. Too
Actually,
soon.
I don't. You know what? I wouldn't
It's
even
not
say
enough.
that. If you put him in a wheelchair and pushed him around, he'd probably still beat me.
He will. He will whoop your ass. I'm telling
But
you.
what do you beat the females? That's what we're talking about.
Oh.
No, we're moving on to the
probably
next
not.
topic.
Probably.
We're going on to the next topic.
All right, let's move on.
And I'm gonna let one of you guys. This is how bad I suck. I'm gonna let one of you guys preference my topic, which is the Boulder, Colorado shooter. But apparently, there was a shooter before that I didn't even know about until this guy decided to shoot people up, and I realized that there was like 2 shootings in a week. So I want to know about the first one, where it was at, and how many people died and who did it. Because I don't.
You
know.
didn't hear about it because the dude looked white. You heard about it when he had an Arab name.
No, that was the second guy. Who was the first guy?
The guy that shot up the salons.
Yeah,
Yeah. Is it Atlanta?
yeah. Was it Atlanta?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please, I'm crossing my fingers. Please tell me it was not a white Christian man.
It was. And actually, he's very evangelical. I think he had been in sex therapy through his church.
Oh, was it through his church at the sex
That makes you
therapy?
more. That makes you more
I think he
evangelical.
was like a sex addict. Well, I say evangelical because I mean, if you're going to sex therapy within your
He
church,
was way up there in the
you're
church. He
pretty,
got sex therapy.
you're pretty into it.
God, you should have grabbed this. You need a screen grab of that look, G. For
All right, so Alana,
yeah,
Yes.
was it 3 massage parlors or something?
like all Asian Americans, right?
6 of the 8 were Asian Americans.
Damn. And he was white Christian male.
Yes,
Correct.
Shocking. I know.
And then like Mr. Bell said, the other guy looked kind of white because I thought he was white too. And then he said his name was, but your name is he white? Because your name, you can change your name to Qadir or Ishmael, whatever it was, and still be white, right? He looks white. Is he white?
I haven't seen a picture of him.
I heard he was a Biden fan though.
Well, yeah.
Probably got pissed
hear
at
those
all the
kind of
Biden
things.
tripping up the step memes, which is another one of my topics. But
We'll get to that one at a time.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
If you're gonna trip up, right?
3 times too. He thought he caught himself twice.
Uh,
All right, we'll
That
get
just shows you don't
So
quit,
this-
man.
So did this guy kill himself? Is he caught? The first guy, was it a suicide at the end or something?
caught.
No,
Caught. I think both caught. Yeah.
he was detained
Yeah. See, look at that.
on his way to Florida. I think they said he had planned to do more in Florida. The first, gentleman or first
And
individual.
so what was his deal? He didn't like, he got his nails done and didn't like his pedicure or something?
He claimed he was addicted to, like he was like a sex addict, and he blamed the massage parlors for, I guess, tempting him.
Arousing him?
Yes. At least that's what I've read up to this point. There might be more information out now, but
Damn.
He got mad because he went to a massage parlor and got a hard on.
yeah, but I guess like this was like a big, like I guess his roommate had said that like he always felt guilty, and he had talked to his parents about it, and again he had gone through like sex addiction therapy through the church, and like it made him feel guilty all the time, and apparently he took it out on massage parlors.
Damn.
So he was never in the military.
Now I don't know his background as far as that. None of the articles I read went into that type of.
And I loved them places back then.
Was it like, hey man, you're supposed to keep your mouth shut about that in the us military guys. That's what I was just gonna say. I didn't want to be rude because people did die, but I'm thinking, so you go there and you get aroused, you get mad because you get aroused, and you go back there, you don't get the happy ending, so then you're not aroused anymore, and then I don't understand how the relationship starts.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, what was your thing about the Colorado shooter? What did you?
I was just gonna talk about it, but then I realized that there was another shooting that I didn't even know about. I was like, I suck. I don't watch the news anymore. I quit. I'm telling you, I used to watch CNN and Fox News every single day when Trump was president because it fucking humored me. And now it's boring. It just sucks. Even
I like it boring. I read the headlines a lot, and so I don't really know.
Ryan Morris. Shout out to Ryan Morris. He didn't like the happy ending. I know, but he ain't got to make all those badass endings for all those other people.
Now nobody's happy.
That's what I'm saying. That's the attitude, right? Like, I'm not going to get rid of the problem that I have with my whatever it is. I'm going to go kill them. Like, obviously, we're talking about mental health, right?
Yeah.
It's not a normal day.
Maybe.
I mean, aren't you talking about that with anybody who shoots up any place like that? I mean,
maybe not. It could be. That was kind of my last topic was, isn't I hate when they say hate crime. That's the difference between the two stories. People are pissed off because that guy is known as a domestic terrorist because he's another white Christian male with an AR-15 going somewhere and doing something, right? Whether it's a church, the fucking nail place, or whatever it was, massage parlor. And then this guy, like TJ said at first, was like, oh, he was actually on the list of the meme as the white Christian male with another AR-15. They're all AR-15s and all white Christian males. But then they
Yeah.
had to take that guy's name off because they realized he wasn't a white Christian male, and I think he was Muslim, and I think he believed that he hated who?
I don't know anything about
He
it.
hated. I think he was he hated Trump, right? So we could probably
social media postings that they've attributed to him. He did not look like a fan.
he was not a fan of Donald Trump for sure.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So now they're like, oh, why isn't he a domestic terrorist now? Now he's an Islamic terrorist. Like, why is that white dude that just killed 10 people being mistreated? I guess is the argument.
And based off appearance, I'm a Trump supporter.
Yeah, but if you base it on appearance, and TJ, my apologies. The first once or twice I saw you, I was like, oh shit.
I can say that too, because actually when I first met him, his beard was like Duck Dynasty beard.
Yeah, the beard. He's always wearing the baseball cap. He's making American flags left and right. I was just like,
got fucking dip in his mouth and fucking
No, you're good.
But what I was gonna say was that's the problem. That's why I wanted to talk about it. Hint, hint. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
So there is a little bit of a
I gotta go unload dresser drawers. So
all right.
All right, catch up with you. Thanks, thanks for dropping in, man.
Who cares?
Wrong podcast.
Wrong podcast. What the fudge? So I feel like when I see Jason on the screen that I can't cuss anymore. I just said fudge. His old nickname. Tell him what your nickname was.
No, that was not my nickname.
What's your nickname?
It was not my nickname. It start with the F.
Yeah, tell him.
Rhymes with Duddy. No.
Buddy Duddy. That's who he is. No, we know it's the Buddy Duddy right there. The Fizzle Dizzle, the Fizzle Dizzle. Oh, they said he was there we go. They said he was an extreme leftist Muslim. Not sure though. No, but that's my point. So I don't even know what my point was, but they're mad. It's not my point. Why people were outraged, I guess, is because why aren't they both domestic terrorists?
Oh,
Because he's not white.
Is he not? Is he not a domestic terrorist?
Well, he was American and he moved here when he was 3. He's lived here since he was 3. That's domestic in my book.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, who's saying he's not a domestic terrorist?
Probably.
There's always this nebulous they. They canceled such and such. They say he's not a domestic terrorist.
Yeah.
I don't know.
When I say they, I'm talking about the internets. Like everything I'm seeing, whether it's on any social media platform or just people talking, I'm out in public all the time. This is what people are talking about. They're just pissed off. Why? I don't know.
Well,
They're both
let me ask
really
you
bad people. My question is it's not a hate crime because it wasn't a white dude murdering Asians.
Right.
So
and
what
it
makes
wasn't a politically motivated
I'm
crime?
saying if you kill somebody and you kill 10 more people, and then you kill somebody and you kill 8 more people, that's a hate crime, right?
Well,
you don't love them. You definitely don't love them if you killed them.
I think that there's I think there might be some value in making a distinction between the two. If you go out,
what is it?
All right, let's just say. And one of the big things with the massage parlor thing, is this a hate crime? They've asked this question because 6 of the women people killed were Asian. You know, is this a thing he had against Asians? And I think that's an important distinction because it's I think it shows an agenda that if other people actually hate Asians, then they're kind of seeing this as sort of a beacon. You know what I'm saying?
But that doesn't make it a hate crime. Remember what Jason
No,
just said?
I'm not saying that made it a hate crime. What I'm saying is that it may be classifications of hate crimes may be useful rather than just somebody who's generally crazy, you know?
I think they throw anything racial as hate crime. And if it doesn't have a racial aspect to it, it's not hate. I think it's still hate because yes, they were all Asian, but they also were all massage owners of massage, What are have you? Is there
So-
one down the street that has white people in it? No.
As-
It's just if he had a problem with the massage therapist, most of them are Asian, so they got it. It wasn't because
So-
he hated Asians.
Maybe the terminology needs to be adjusted here. Instead of a hate crime, you call it a racially motivated crime.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, but so the other thing here is, what is a domestic terrorist? And it occurs to me that there has to be some sort of socio-political motivation behind the killings in order to
Goes
call
with these big words again. It's fucking big words. You always want to use. Good. God muted your fucking mic because you keep doing those big words. That's what you get. Sociological fucking what the
all right, socio-political. So the point is that somebody who just shoots up a restaurant or a grocery store willy-nilly because they're just crazy is one thing. Somebody who shows up to, let's just say, some sort of Democrat rally wearing, flying a Trump flag and wearing a MAGA hat and shoots it up, that is different, right? I mean, theoretically,
or wearing a Biden shirt,
or the other way around, right? Yeah. So I think that that domestic terrorist.
So we gotta go political motivated on that one. Is that a hate crime? Because he hates.
No, I don't think. What I'm saying is, I'm trying to put that into the box of domestic terrorists. Somebody who has an agenda to cause fear into a particular to strike fear into a particular group, and I think that should be some sort of definition of domestic terrorist.
So right? a serial killer is not
necessarily, unless they're killing all of the same type of people, and again with an agenda.
Right. To my understanding, domestic terrorism does have to have an agenda behind it. Like you're trying to cause a change, or your actions, you want some end result to other than just killing someone. You want to either inflict
there's another
and some type of change, whether it be politically, socio-economically, to steal.
Mute him.
Mute that motherfucker. Hey, so hate crime. Hate crime is a noun. It's a crime, typically one involving violence, that is motivated by prejudice on the basis of race, religion, sexual orientation, or other grounds.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I think hate crime. I think that was and I can't remember the guy. He used to do all those like political speech. Instead of the estate tax, change it to death tax. I consider hate crime the same way. If you say that's a lot of fields to put into.
Not only is it a lot of fields, you have prejudice, race, religion, sexual orientation, and then the last part says or other grounds.
Right. So if you just market it as a hate crime, it's a lot easier to get people on board, to go along with.
It's also just shorthand.
More, yeah. So because I think you get, it extends your prison sentences, things like that. So it's just an easy term to get behind.
Yeah, you would, because this is what the FBI says. The FBI has defined a hate crime as a criminal offense against a person or property motivated in whole or in part by an offender's bias against race, religion, disability, sexual orientation, gender, or gender identity. They just added that shit in the last 4 years. Right? So it ain't just about race.
No, it's not. And maybe then I might have spoken too soon with that terminology issue. If you put all of those things together under one heading, it may be a somewhat vague heading, but it puts them all on equal footing. So then you're no longer saying, well, I had this, I shot a Muslim because of his religion. That's not the same, or a bunch of Muslims because of their religion. Just not the same as shooting a bunch of Asian people because of their race. They're all on the same footing then.
So let's just say my neighbor, a good old white Christian guy on this side of my house, and then that side of the house was a Muslim dude. We're all neighbors. We help each other out, whatever. Hey, how you doing, Bob? Hey, how you doing, Ishmael? We go to work. We do our shit, right? Everything's cool. We find out that Muslim guy had an affair with the Christian white guy's wife, and he kills him. he's going to be accused of a hate crime instead of a regular murder because he's Muslim and
But
black.
that's an extenuating circumstance. I think that his defense attorney gets that category of crime thrown out. It's a crime of passion, even. He can get another whole new one introduced. Yeah, I mean, I think you have to look at the circumstances. I'm not sure that there's.
No, I'm not saying that's right. I'm saying that's what would happen to that guy. He'd be like, "Oh, it was a hate crime. He killed a Muslim."
Well, you would hope that an investigating officer would be able to figure that one out. But
and the news reported correctly. All that good stuff that's supposed to happen. So domestic terrorism, the committing of a terrorist act, again wide open, in the perpetrator's own country against their fellow citizens. So, like we said, everybody that kills another American is a domestic terrorist by definition.
that was very vague.
I don't know.
I thought it was more pointed than that.
Well, yeah, I think you have to look up terrorist act then and say, what is a terrorist?
All right, here,
act?
I got more. While there are many potential definitions of domestic terrorism, it is largely defined as a terrorism in which the perpetrator targets his or her own country. Defines domestic terrorism as homegrown in which the venue, target, and perpetrators are all from the same country.
Yeah, but then you have to define terrorism within that.
Yeah, exactly. Let's do that. Let's just get rid of domestic.
Right. So
I'm gonna go to. By the way,
all that's telling us is
I'm gonna be tagged by the NSA for this shit, and I'm probably going to jail. This is what I do for the podcast. Them bitches do it for the gram. I do it for the podcast. Terrorism definition.
We'll never track that.
The unlawful use of violence and intimidation, especially against civilians in the pursuit of political aims.
Thank you.
So terrorism is completely just political by definition.
Yeah.
I guess. This is ridiculous. I can't,
What's wrong with that?
Well, look at it. I think you could terrorize somebody domestically or not domestically with no political involvement.
But there's
or bad.
So Hitler wasn't a terrorist.
I don't know if you could say that. I think you could say he was a terrorist. Sure, he terrorized Jews, and they were his countrymen.
Yeah, and well, it wasn't political though. He just hated them.
But wasn't he looking to expand his political?
Not his political, just his power. Period. His country, nationalism.
Well, all right. Well, what then? Is it totally binary? I mean, does that have to be one or the other? Could he be a terrorist and perpetrator of hate crimes?
I don't know what binary means. That
means binary means only one or the other.
Okay, gotcha.
So sorry. God damn it!
Forget where you are, man. You and TJ can do your own podcast.
only he and I will understand each other. That'll be it. Exactly. All right. So yeah, no, maybe Hitler was a terrorist and a perpetrator of hate crimes.
Right. But he's not a terrorist because it wasn't political.
Yeah, no, he was a terrorist also.
Oh.
I think he could be both. He could use hate crimes as a terrorist act.
Well, all I know is as soon as we started talking about Hitler, we lost 5 viewers. So all our Jewish friends, we want to say bye.
No, we're there for you, Jewish friends.
We're here for you, baby. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about the memes, a couple funny memes I saw with the Biden tripping thing. Like, people made that like, I told you stupid motherfucker shouldn't have voted for him. The whole country's in a mess now. It's like, whoa. Like, I tripped before. But I have a problem. Jason might or might not have a story about this, but when I start hanging out with somebody, like, we were working together every day, so I knew there would be an opportunity where he might fall or he might have something bad done to him. And I have this really nervous energy. It started when I was a kid and I was holding the ladder for my dad. I think he was either doing the gutters or painting something. and I wasn't paying attention, and he fell off the ladder, and I laughed. And he got so fucking mad at me, and he couldn't chase me around because I think he broke a rib or two. But
Damn.
I could not stop laughing. And if I see somebody fall, even if it's a loved one of mine, I have to turn away because I will laugh. I will help you up. So I try to, like, if we were to go golfing or something, Scott, we started hanging out like that once a week or something, I would warn you ahead of time and be like, look, if you fall, I'm laughing. No disrespect, because I lost some friends that way. I'm like dying laughing. They're like broken their fucking ACL, and I'm just laughing. I cannot stop. So I have an issue with that. So when I seen him, I didn't see it live. You know, CNN didn't show it. Fox News had that bitch on a loop. Just falling. Told you, Hannity had a blast with that shit. Like that. Like, look, he actually fell up 3 steps and then caught himself, and then his left foot. I mean, they were breaking that shit down, zooming in on it and everything. I was like, good God, man. The guy fell up the stairs, but this one, I'm gonna bring up this meme I saved. It made me laugh out loud. And that one I sent you today, Scott, really made me laugh really hard.
I forget which one it was. Hold on, let me check it out.
I'll read it. It's a little bit inappropriate, but this show is rated R, so as long as you guys are cool with it.
Dude, that was not.
Look, I take. You don't understand how much pride I take in the LOL. Like, I don't put LOL if I don't think that shit is funny, bro. You don't get a real laugh out loud from me, and I even do more. I won't even write LOL. I will write it. I will write it out. Laugh out loud! Exclamation point. Like real 3 words, because it's worth it, because you made me laugh out loud, and it doesn't happen that much. I almost wrecked my car when I read that shit. I was belly laughing, only because I have like 2 or 3 of my friends kind of going through, like, your mic's muted, going through like maybe not a divorce, but, you know, problems. So I kind of been helping them out and talking to them, and then someone sent this shit, and I just some things are funny. That's why people are like, how do you possibly think a rape joke is funny? And I was like, it don't matter what the topic is. If it makes me laugh, who are you to tell me it's not funny? Right? That's how I live my life. YOLO. We only live once. You know what I'm saying? But basically it says I don't want to give out the person that said it. It's another Jason that I know, but I won't give the last name. It wasn't this Jason, I promise. He said, maybe if you suck dick the same way you suck the fun out of shit, you'd still have a man. Dude, I've laughed at that like 7 times today. I'm having a bad part of my day. I just read it. It's just because in those conversations that I had with those people, and I will never reveal their names, they'll probably know who they are. Both of them on different circumstances, like, it's like she just sucks the air out of the room. And then I saw that shit. I almost sent it to both of them, but I didn't. They want to get no idea. So the tripping up the stairs meme says Biden tripped going up the stairs. Cool. Wake me up when he tries to change the path of a hurricane with a Sharpie. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
I think he put a state of emergency on Alabama, and it didn't even rain or some shit. And they clowning this motherfucker for tripping up the steps. That's my point. Oh, here it is. Boulder AR-15, Orlando AR-15, Parkland AR-15, Las Vegas AR-15, Ural, Colorado AR-15, Sandy Hook AR-15, Waffle House AR-15, San Bernardino AR-15, Midland Odessa AR-15. I can't even say that shit. Poway Synagogue. AR-15. We are not laughing at the people that died from that shit. But again, I know this might spark a little something. Of course, all the AR-15 fans are like, it's not the AR-15. People kill people. Guns don't kill people. Like, yeah, but people shoot the gun. So it all comes in a circle. It's like, can't have one without the other. Can't have a chicken without the egg. Somebody got to pull the trigger. Unless we got drones in the air just bucking motherfuckers, then I could say, hey, drones kill people. But people might be controlling those drones. However, on the side of them, like, do we think for a second that if we ban an AR-15, that this doesn't happen anymore? Won't it just be another gun?
Most likely.
You know, it's like, you got to ban those AR-15s. No, motherfuckers are crazy. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to do both. There's loopholes for sure. Do you know that in Virginia that I can go to a gun show and take all 10 of my guns? I think 10's the limit. It's either 9 or 10, and sell them, no background checks. I knew there was a loophole. You know what I thought the loophole was? This is how far out of the loop I am. I was like, oh, they mean like if you go to the gun show, they're not as thorough as like Cabela's and stuff, and you might slip through the cracks. Little loophole. I didn't know the loophole was you just sell them at gun shows and then you can sell them to anybody. Like literally. You don't have to do anything. I think you have to have an ID.
I don't even know if that qualifies as a loophole so much as there's a fucking
It's a hole.
opening.
It's just a hole. Do you own a gun, Jason?
Yes.
Do you carry?
No.
Me either.
I'm too lazy to get the concealed carry permit.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I want to talk about that for a second too. Are you too lazy to get it? Yep. You know what's weird about that? In New York, it's opposite. You can get your license to carry, but you have to conceal. And here, you have to get a special permit so you can conceal. When my cousin was here from New York, he was like, that is so ass backwards. I was like, yeah, it sounds like it, because like in New York, if you're in a, I guess you can't even be in a bar, but if you're in a place and you like just stretch and your shirt comes up and shows your gun showing, it's a crime. But here,
like brandishing a firearm, is that
exactly? You have to hide that bitch. And here we can't hide the bitch unless you get permission and take a course to hide that shit, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes in my old job where me and Jason worked, I wish I had my gun then. I would have carried that motherfucker then, because I went into some streets. I was on the street, son. We were going into Gilpin Court at 5:30. I am not kidding when I say this. I swear to you, ask Jason. I volunteered to work in DC for a week, and we went up there and stayed in a hotel. These motherfuckers had me. People were escorting me out of the hood, Scott. Black people were like, yo, you got to go, bro. It's dark. What are you doing here? I was on Martin Luther King Boulevard in Washington, D.C.
MLK.
With a $4,800 mobile fucking goddamn wheelchair. I'm driving down the street trying to deliver somebody. I called the D.C. He said, oh, I thought you were back at the hotel, man. Where are you? He's like, I was like, I'm at this last stop. He must have looked at the clock. He said, where are you? I said, Martin Luther King Boulevard. He said, go, get out of there. Get
that was one of the worst parts of that job, was because you went places you'd never been.
Yeah,
I didn't even
it was all Medicare.
Yeah,
so
I would go to the Tidewater area and not realize where I was at until somebody that lived there told me to be out.
And you know what else I learned? I learned that every single place in the state has a ghetto, including Charlottesville.
Oh yeah.
I went to the hood in Charlottesville. I swear to God, we were in Crenshaw, dog. It's like, this UVA? I can see the UVA thing in the. I said, damn, I learned a lot about that. Like everywhere you go, there's at least one hood. It's crazy. And you don't want to be, people say race this, race that. I grew up in the hood, and I don't give a shit. Like people like my stepmother said that to me one time. I went back to a neighborhood I never lived in when we were kids. Like when I was a kid, the neighborhood that my family lives in now, my dad wouldn't even let me go to. Like we weren't allowed to go there. Now my family lives there. So we went to visit, and they take my sister-in-law and Frankie, and I think 2 kids, and they just disappear. And I'm like when we're in the hood, I'm like in straight panic mode, right? I'm like watching my family and shit. I was like, where'd they go? They're like, my stepmother's like, oh, they walked down to the store to get some cigarettes. I said, who? who walked to the store? Like Frankie, this one. I was like, no. I ran out to the porch. I'm like, hey, come back. She's like, they finally came back, and my wife's like, yeah, 2 dudes hit on us, and another dude tried to sell us crack, but it was fine. Like first impressions are everything. And I was like, yeah, don't do that. So my stepmother's like, you need to stop being a bitch. She's like, I don't understand. You grew up here. No, I didn't. I did not grow up here. You didn't allow me to come here. And now you allow my wife and kids to walk down the street 15 years later. No thanks. But places like that, I would try to carry a gun. The whole purpose of this conversation was I'm irresponsible as a person. As a person, Jason knows I don't buy nice tools. My cousin owns 3 Snap-on trucks. He's like, man, I don't know why you fucking around. I don't know if I can say this out loud, but he's like, I'll sell them to you at cost. You just got to pay shipping. And that's still stupid expensive for Snap-on because one wrench is like $100, right? So I was like, nah, man, I lose my shit. I don't wear watches because I lose them. I don't buy expensive tools because I leave them somewhere. I don't have these sunglasses are from Fastmart. It's my second teen pair I bought. My second teen pair. It's like between 11 and 13. Between 12. Second teen. Anyways, the moral of the story is I don't buy nice shit because I'm irresponsible. So I don't feel like I'm responsible enough. I will leave my gun somewhere. Not good. Just not good. Even if I left it in the car. And then there's like all these rules. Like I don't think you can take it into a bar or any place that sells alcohol. But then I see people in 7-Eleven with fucking straps on their hip. So I don't really know the rules. And the stats say that gun crime percentage goes up if you carry a gun. Like if you're around a gun. So I just leave it for protecting my home, man. That's it. I don't carry. Do you carry, Scott?
Shit. No.
Do you have a gun? What does that mean? Do you have a gun?
You do that? No, I don't own a gun. I have no desire to own a gun. Just not part of who I am.
Do you have anything to protect yourself if someone breaks in your house?
Actually, I got a bat. I know where the knives are kept.
You didn't play baseball. If Jason said he had a bat, I would be okay with it. But you didn't play baseball.
I play golf. I know how to swing.
He's probably got more torque.
I might hit him the first time.
Hold on, bad guy. Can you balance on this tee real quick? I mean, come on.
I didn't purchase a weapon till I saw all the people around me that had them, and I was like, I got to protect myself from them.
Well,
I got mine probably 4 or 5 years ago.
No, I grew up. My dad was a hunter. He liked to hunt, so I mean, I knew about gun safety at a young age. My mom used to work downtown when it wasn't really. I mean, I remember her buying a .38 when I was probably
before it was gentrified.
I guess, yeah, but it was anyway. So I mean, I had a chance to shoot guns and stuff like that, but honestly, it's just for me personally, it's always seemed like too much power to have in my hands. And I've actually, I did go and I spoke at a gun control rally a few years back and all that stuff. I have particular beliefs about it, but they're complicated. To me, it's never. I don't sit on one side.
We could do it. We could do a whole episode on the Second Amendment.
But here's the one thing I do know is that the presence of a gun tends to escalate any confrontation. Presence of a gun is the highest correlating factor with getting shot. So I generally tend to not like being around them all that much.
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable when somebody has it on their hip in 7-Eleven and I'm in 7-Eleven.
Yeah, it's like the opposite feeling that they're. I guess I don't know. I feel less safe when I see somebody with a gun. I don't feel like, oh, here's a guy. Here's a law-abiding citizen who's going to stop the bad guy.
Remember we talked about that before. That I had that. I had that conversation with Mark Breener. Remember Matt? He came on here, Jason. and he
I
was
know.
down.
I was there for that. Well,
Yeah,
I think I saw that one, unless you're
Yeah.
speaking of a different episode.
nah, he was on it, and we were arguing on Facebook about He said, "What do you mean you don't carry your gun to protect anybody else?" I said, "I don't carry my gun to protect nobody. I protect myself." So you know, vigilante shit. He's like, "Oh no, when you carry, it's your responsibility to take care of it." Nah, bro,
Wrong.
that's to take care of me. So when you have people out there with that attitude, maybe I will feel safer if Matt's taking care of me, you know. But Matt can also be the guy that goes into the Asian salon and busts everybody in the fucking head. I don't know him, and when he walks in 7-Eleven with a gun on his waist,
I
I don't know.
I again, generally speaking, I feel safer not being around guns. You know, now in my little life of privilege, I feel pretty safe in my neighborhood regardless. So
At least you admit your privilege.
well, yeah.
Don't even get me started. I'm still not done. We're already an hour and 20 minutes in, and we ain't got time, but we're going to talk about that topic again.
All right.
I wasn't done with that topic. Jason told me that I'm not allowed to experience racism because I have white privilege. Do you agree with that, Jason? Isn't that racist in itself? That's my point.
Maybe I should have heard the whole conversation. I'm sure he just didn't randomly make a comment like that. It might have been in response to something you said. I mean,
like, again, I can add it to the best of show
without the benefit of hearing maybe the context.
Check out this. After I'll give you the minutes to fast forward to because the rest of the podcast probably sucked, but that part was good, and I'll tell you the minutes and you watch it for yourself. But he's not denying it. He pretty much said that I wasn't allowed to feel like I was racist or I was having racism towards me because of my privilege. And I was telling him that I have experienced racism in my life, and he said it's not the same.
It's not the same.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if there's racism 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know. I thought racism was racism. Like my one example is I had a crush on this girl in my neighborhood when I was 12 years old. And I went to her house and she was like, just come upstairs and meet my mom. And her mom flipped the fuck out and was like, get this white fucking cracker out of my house before your daddy gets home or he's going to fucking kill you. Because they don't allow her to date white people or even hang out with white people, apparently. Racism, right? Am I like, is that not racism? I know it's not getting shot by the police because I'm black, but is it not racism?
It is, but it's not the same.
No, I'm not saying it's the same. I'm saying it's
Your
racism.
friend was right. You can experience racism, but I don't think you're not going to experience systemic racism. What you're going to experience are isolated incidents of racism.
Yeah, which I did not say that
rather than oppressive.
You know, when it came up, this is what came up. This is why it came up, Jason. Since you obviously don't watch all the podcasts. So
hold up, I didn't even bring it up.
We showed a meme of a grocery store and they had a product, happened to be Goya beans, so it's kind of weird, but it said black owned, Hispanic owned, and I said anything that you can remove the word from and add white be racist. If we put tags on everything, it said white owned, people would have a serious problem with that. But we can put black owned and Hispanic owned, which again, in the podcast, I go into detail how I'm all about supporting community. And I think people should support the community. I grew up in kind of an Italian neighborhood and they kind of had the same things. You're supposed to find a good Italian girl, keep the bloodline. Black people were doing the same thing. But if white people do that, it's racism. Right?
I think you're kind of crossing.
What do you mean?
Because, and this is going to oddly kind of revert back almost to the basketball earlier. I think people identify with, or they, I guess, support things that they can identify with. So more like, just like we were talking about the sports earlier, more of the people that are going to watch sports are males. They're going to want to see something that they can identify with or understand, which is probably why viewership of male sports is higher, which in turn is why it's more lucrative, which is probably why they spend more in their locker rooms.
Right.
Just like I think within communities, people tend to kind of go toward the things that they identify with or understand. Is that rachist? I'm not sure, but I don't know.
Netflix,
I don't know.
Netflix,
It's like, I don't know.
Have you seen the Netflix? Y'all should both watch the Netflix documentary with Killer Mike, and I think it's Killer Mike, and he goes across the whole country, and he's trying to get from New York to California, and he's doing a documentary, and he's only allowed to buy from Black owners, Black banks, Black owners, Black produce, Black groceries, everything. It was awesome, and I'm all about it. I'm just saying, if I made a Netflix special and I said I'm only buying from fucking white people from here to California, I'm going to be on Twitter, #canceled you racist. Correct or not?
No, because you'd never make that show because there wouldn't be any difficulty. You wouldn't have anything to overcome.
Just saying, I can still make the show.
It would never get made. Nobody would watch it. It'd be like 6 minutes. Yeah, I just drove.
Well, that's like when people say.
Fine.
That's when like white people say it's racist to have Black History Month because why can't it just be we're supposed to be equal and they're like, well, you got the other 11 months. I guess we do, but my point is, if we made a white,
my argument about the Goya beans, and this is kind of joking but kind of not, is if it doesn't have the Black or Hispanic known, I'm going to imply it's owned by somebody white.
That's what I said. Thank you.
Exactly.
That's exactly what I said.
And I agree with that. But if I was the vendor and I was like, hey, man, I want your customers to know that this is a white business. Can you put these tags up? They're going to look at me like I'm crazy because that's racist. Right? Am I crazy?
I think you might get a little flack for that.
Yeah, I mean, you would get flack for it,
but I'm doing the same thing they are.
We had this. We went over this, G, and I again, that's
what I'm saying. That podcast wasn't finished. I wasn't done. I got off that podcast and I said no.
We don't have time for this tonight. It's too late.
All right, we'll skip it, but we're gonna talk about that again.
Yeah.
I think
we're gonna have to have a whole special.
I think you ended the conversation with, I need to think about this a little bit.
Me?
I think
Probably. But I mean, I know what one of the things that I landed on was that it had to do with the.
There he goes. I love it when he doesn't know either. Look at him. Your mic's muted. We can wrap it up. I don't think I had anything else.
Well, I'm not good, and I don't know what Scott would say, but I would probably
he would say this. Hold on, I got you. He would say this.
I was going to say, maybe that's part of, maybe specific or particular parts of the, I guess, our country or population that has been underserved or maybe not allowed to succeed in the past, and this is just a way to kind of highlight or give them, I guess, equal ground.
Like I told him, I totally understand why they're doing it. I get it, and I would do it, and I would support them, and I would buy one of each. I'd buy a white one, a black one, a Hispanic one if I was at that aisle. That's just the type of person I am. I'm just saying, if I put my race on it, it's racist. When they put their race on it, it's not because of history. Like, that bothers me. Like, racism should be racism. Right? All right, so
you're looking for something to be equal that's just not. You just can't make it that way.
So there's can we say there's a spectrum of racism? Can we go there? Can't say it's not racist.
Yeah,
right.
I think you can.
I
think it's a nuanced conversation to have. It has a lot to do with history.
Next week, that's our whole topic. We're gonna spend the whole time on it. Got it? Right.
Got it.
Boulder shooter, check. NCAA basketball, check. Biden straight tripping, check. Oh, we forgot Bill Burr at the Grammys. So y'all do this. Y'all check out Bill Burr at the Grammys and then go on YouTube and watch a couple reactions. I would do Theo Vaughn does one. It's pretty funny. Poor guy.
Bill
Poor
Burr,
guy.
they even held the Grammys?
Dude, yeah, they held the Grammy. This is the thing. So think about this. A comedian that's like Bill Burr, that's like a real crowd worker, right? Empty building. He's doing comedy in an empty room. So it's already uncomfortable as hell. He's giving the awards for most tropical South Brazilian artist of the year. Can't even say the guy's name. So the most controversial part, I'll just tell you real quick, but you guys should watch it. It's hilarious. It's funny, but they're like, look at him. He's trying to make fun of people and he's bombing. Bitch, who's gonna laugh if nobody's there? He's not bombing. There's nobody there.
So we were
Right.
It was all video, dude. It was ridiculous. It's horrible. Just check it out. Probably about 6 minutes for the whole thing, but you could probably find like a 2-minute clip that breaks it all down. His opening joke was some guy was playing the piano, a solo, again, from like this on camera. And the camera was messed up and they were already focused on Bill. They messed up the whole shot. And then he realizes he's live on air and the solo just ended. And you could tell he was just uncomfortable. And he said, this is what he got in trouble for. And I think it's funny. He said, was anybody else contemplating suicide during that piano solo? Of course, no laughs because there's nobody there. So they're like, see, you make fun of that and it bombs. So he did another joke and another joke. And the comedians that were reviewing it were like, we were laughing our asses off at the house, but nobody knew that. So Hollywood attacked him and they're trying to cancel him. I think he did a couple racial ones, but you could just tell that a comedian is not supposed to perform in front of nobody.
Right.
An empty room. How awkward. That's like a band coming up and you got a gig tonight, Scott. You're gonna meet up there at the place, but we're just gonna have a camera in front of you and everybody at home's gonna be watching. It's like,
yeah, I think it's not
on a stage or anywhere.
Yeah, he was on a stage. Like they had a stage in California, a stage in Florida, and a stage wherever, and they kept just bouncing back and forth. But he was on a stage. It looked like legit. And they're like, you didn't hear anybody laugh, did you? It's like, you fuck, nobody was there. Nobody.
I don't know if you can even cancel Bill Burr. I think he's beyond canceling. I mean,
that's what they all say.
Yeah, but
you got to pipe in laughter or something if you're gonna. That's tough.
Stand-up's tough with a good crowd. So I can't imagine with no crowd. But I think that's it. Hate crimes, Bill Burr, Biden straight tripping, NCAA bracket, and Boulder shooter, baby.
We did it. Another one in the books.
Another one in the books. Only an hour and a half, just under our 90-minute mark, and it's 9:19. My wife still might be awake long enough for me to rub on her booty before I go to bed. 10 o'clock? Forget about it. She's another fuddy-duddy. Shout out to Fizzle Dizzle, the fuddy-duddy, the original Pox coming in tonight.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so pissed that the other Jason didn't come.
So is this the same little StreamYard thing? Is it always the same ID?
Link? No.
Yeah.
I gotta send you the link. I gotta send you the link every week.
Okay.
So here's the deal. If we go live, it's a new link, but we can pre-record in the studio and we can always use the same link. Me, you, and him can come in here and have conversation after conversation privately, and then we can post it later. But if you go live, it does assign a new link, which I don't like. I used to have Be Live software, and once you're assigned a link, which is kind of weird because you could sign into the link whenever you wanted. If I left my shit on, I'd be naked getting changed in front of you and shit. So I didn't like that part of it. But do you have anything to promote, Jason Parks? Who cares? I know it's the wrong podcast, but I don't give a shit.
That's just still funny.
I know it is so funny. We got to get one for our show. Like, instead of who cares, what can I say?
I don't know.
You're fired. You're fired. Made somebody else famous. But real talk, shout out to TJ Bell, June Hardenberg, Ray Baltadano, Scott Hicks, Jason Parks,
Herbie Withers.
Herbie Withers says, "What's up?" Podcast OG listens every week. Ryan Morris. Everybody on the later than this. You didn't want to join us live. It's all about the replay. And all we do is ask you to share it with your friends. That's it. Just hit share. Be like, this show sucked, but maybe you like it. Hit share. Boom. We got 4 likes tonight. Watch out. Got a bunch of comments. And wrong show. Jason said wrong show. You got you, son. We're gonna come up with something better than you're fired. But anyways, I appreciate you, Scott. It's always a pleasure, sir.
Absolutely, my brother.
Did you have anything else you wanted to say?
No, not really, man.
You're fired. Get that motherfucker out of here. All right, y'all. For real. Thank you. Share the show. Like the page, man. We're on YouTube under the Who Cares Podcast name. Who Cares Podcast. Let me bring it up for you. You can not that one. Subscribe to the Who Cares Podcast on YouTube. I know it's the Who Cares Podcast page, but you can see the Who Cares Podcast there and this podcast there. It's like a little networking thing. So go and today subscribe to the Who Cares Podcast on YouTube. That way, if you don't have Facebook, and then just hit share, and then like the Let's Talk About It podcast page on Facebook. We want to build that page up. So you know the deal. You want to come on the show, talk about it. Could talk about anything you want. You saw what we did tonight. It's good conversation. It's good people. You know, none of that negative bullshit on social media. Just come here and talk about it. You got a small business, local charity to shout out. Contact me. You don't have to be on the podcast. I know we talk about some crazy shit, but I also offer you a private podcast where we just talk about your business, and then we share that all over the place and just spread the love. We love the community. We love our community. Again, thank you for tuning in. We'll be back here till Wednesday. I almost said tomorrow. Fuck that. Wednesday, 7:30. Let's Talk About It podcast. Let's blow this shit up. Like, share, smash all that bullshit. Do all that shit. Love you guys. Smooches.